The Ultimates got their asses handed to them by the Hulk in the last issue. And this issue, they've got to lick their wounds. They've got a lot of wounded, and yeah, we get a cool down issue of Ultimates. We've got a lot of books to talk about today. I'm very excited. December is typically in my mind like not that big of a deal of a month as far as comics go, but I feel like they're ending the year pretty strong this year.
As far as anything goes, let's be real. People are just, holidays, too busy worrying about that. And I feel like that usually happens. I feel like a lot of weeks feel like fifth weeks.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you haven't noticed, there are only two of us right now. Marco is on the way. He'll be here a little bit later on, but for now, it's just going to be Tyler
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Hi. Forgot it's just me.
and myself. I'm Sean. Thank you for being here with us. Whether you are live or in the future, we have got six
Count them.
books.
Jeez, okay. I got to do all the
Six
rolls.
six books on tap to talk about today. The aforementioned Ultimates number 7. I got a variant cover. This one, let's see if I can quickly learn who it's by.
On purpose, or it was just what they had, or.
I got it on purpose, but I regret it. Um, it's not because I don't like it. It's just because it's like, why? Why? I'm a cover A guy.
Same. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. All new Venom number 1. Who is Venom? We'll find out eventually. Absolute Superman number 2. See if Jason Aaron is still cooking. Two-Face number 1. I went variant here as well, but
The Chris
that was
Somney one.
also sorry.
The Chris Somney one.
Yeah, I didn't do this on purpose. This was because of the way that my LCS handles DC variants. I could not find
Ooh.
the cover rate.
We're going to have a good Sean stack later, I feel. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a
We
therapy
may
session
well.
tonight.
Oh, and I didn't show off Batman. That's right. That's because I don't have it. I do not have it. I did not get Batman this week, and I'm bummed.
What? Okay, that'll be. Stick around for the end of the show, guys, where we figure out what happened here.
Please do. Yes, absolutely. And then also JSA number 2. That was the book that you guys voted on. Before we get into the reviews proper, I do quickly want to say on the main show this week, we announced that we would have Jason Fabic on the show on Tuesday, which did happen. And that was a great success. Hopefully, you guys go check that out. But also that we would be having Al Ewing on this Saturday. Now, that unfortunately is not happening. There was a scheduling issue where Al is going to be available next Saturday, not this Saturday. So we will have him on the show with us on the 14th, or yeah, the 14th, yes, of December. So I'm excited about it. Can't wait. I wish it was this Saturday, but it is now next Saturday.
Let's just say the 14th's are numbers to look forward to.
Sure. Sure. Yes, we
Yeah,
can go with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
All
I'm
right.
teasing. I'll do.
Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Ultimates number 7. This is written by Dennis Camp with art by Juan Frigeri. We also have colors by Federico Blee and letters by Travis Lanham. So again, the Hulk beat down the Ultimates pretty much solo. There were other gamma radiated creatures alongside him when they had this big battle, but they weren't really what it was about. The Hulk thrashed the Ultimates solo. And so now the various Ultimates members are kind of doing their own thing at the moment. And this issue shows us a few different scenes, giving us an idea of where they are at. We've got Captain America and the Human Torch, the Android version. The new Hawkeye is doing their thing. Hank Pym and the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, are also, they're chit chatting amongst themselves, going to a memorial. Felt like a 9/11 memorial. Surely that was deliberate. And then we also catch up with the Hulk and Doctor Doom and America Chavez. So everybody's represented. Very slow issue, meant to be a cool down. Tyler, how did you feel about this one?
So if you check out Monday's show, Pal's Previews, I don't know if that's the official name just yet, but if you check that out, this was exactly what I wanted this issue to be. I think I said exactly like, hey, I hope it's a cooldown issue. I hope we can get to learn about some of these characters who got introduced and then just got thrown into the fight. Um, and this is what that was, and I think this is what it needed to be. I think there's been so much momentum in some of these issues that we don't get enough time to sit with, characters. Like we didn't see America Chavez like sit with her since she was rescued, really. She showed up and she was there, but we don't really get to hear her and talk with her. We get that here. We get, a good slowdown for Wasp and Giant Man, which we haven't gotten since early on in the run. Um, and like I actually got to see Human Torch do something, which didn't happen since the Free Comic Book Day issue. So I think just building the characters, this was important, and kind of seeing where everyone is, and it was kind of like a year in review and a check in for everyone here. Um, I liked it. I liked that Cap and Human Torch went to a knockoff McSorley's, just to kind of reminisce because they would really be the only two friends each other have. Um, I think it wasn't like ultimates that I've been reading where it's like every issue just blows my socks off or does something revolutionary in terms of what like a superhero comic could do. But I still think this is needed for the series long term.
Yeah, definitely. It needed to slow things down a little bit and put the spotlight on its characters. We've talked about how one of the downsides of each issue takes place in 1 month, how that impacts the stories in a variety of ways. One of the ways in which I think it does impact this book is that you can't really slow things down too often. And you can't have someone in a heroic moment on a cliffhanger and then resolve it in the next issue. There's a lot of storytelling constraints. And so an issue like this certainly becomes necessary. And I'm grateful for it. I think it was perfectly placed and timed. Iron Lad has been the driving force behind these issues in terms of setting the agenda, the missions and whatnot. And him being out of the picture makes it so that these characters feel a little bit like they've lost their way and they have to find it again. And I really like that.
And some of them had to find it in each other. Like there was that one bit with She-Hulk and Reed or Doom, um, where they're the leftovers. Really, they're the ones that really don't have a place to go to or can't go anywhere. So Reed, they fight, but Reed finds a way to help out She-Hulk, and there's like a mutual understanding there, and a good character moment for two characters that are kind of on the periphery.
I want to say a quick hello to Near. What's up, dude? Banksy Maine, how's it going? Steve Matthews throwing those hot dogs up. Thank you. Niels Fredrickson, good to see you. Mike's Total Dragon Channel. What's up, man? Cole, what's going on, Cole? CW Gordon, always a pleasure to see you hanging out with us. We got Victor Patino with us. Justin, what up, Justin? Sean Ali, those are just the people whose names I can see right now. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, I mean the character interactions are all great, and I come to comics, especially team books. I want to see drama. I want to see drama. I want to see character interactions. I want to see, heart. I want to know these people. And this issue did a lot to showcase that. Hawkeye, for example, they don't really get much more than what, a page, but that page establishes exactly what they're up to, which is what they were up to before Captain America went and reached out to them, taking down the military industrial complex, with one arrow at a time. And it's like, okay, cool. Like these are radical individuals. That's terrorism that they're actively engaged with.
And in an issue where all the other characters are, going to speak with people, going to be with people in a way. Hammond and Cap, Wasp and Giant Man. Even America Chavez goes back to, I guess, her country that she was from. Um, Having Hawkeye, a character, just continue the fight is such good character development in and of itself. It's the lack of that that is real interesting for that character.
Yeah. Yeah. This was my pick of the week. I don't know about you, but this was my pick of the week, even though nothing quote unquote happens. I think that so much good character work is done here. I mean, man, like I'm falling in love with these iterations of characters that I've known for 20 years in most cases, longer sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my pick of the week, but it was a very, very good issue that I would still recommend just as much as I would the other issues. I think it's a necessary issue for the series' longevity and for these characters, um, and especially for the way the format of the storytelling is. You know, the month to month thing that I don't even know if we're going to continue that going forward after the year, the next week's Ultimate Year One thing or whatever. Um, but the this was an important issue. Not my pick of the week, and I really liked it. And you know what's really good? Consistency in the art for Gary kind of doing every issue here. It's really nice. It helps build that I guess familiarity with these characters that are familiar but very different. So yeah, it's a very good book. It is a hard pull for me, but I don't know about pick of the week. My pick of the week might surprise you, actually.
Hmm, okay. Um there was a there was a bit here where they're rattling off, you know, the names and whatever at the Stark Tower Memorial, and one of the speaker is a pastor who's very obviously intended to be Matt Murdock.
That's my boy. Come on. I think he was there for the one in Spider Man, the memorial in Spider Man for the first. I guess when it first happened, when Harry Osborn was on the mic. I think he was there as well. So I guess he's just a priest in this universe.
Yeah, for now, but it's just cool that they're
Connectivity.
teasing certain things and like putting it out there, and it's like, oh shit, hey, that's Daredevil. If you know, you know, and maybe we'll expand on that or maybe not.
And not only that, but just the addition of um, Oscorp is a big deal. You know, like, oh, we're continuing the stuff that was in Amazing Spider or Ultimate Spider-Man, and we're showing how this world is a world with things happening between the issues.
Matt Fisher kicking us off with a 49.99 super chat. Matt, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I don't know how you do it, but we appreciate it. Matt says, I know we're not there yet, but I have to go to work. Batman's several at the NS is great, but I feel like this part of the storytelling is just a repeat of Eternal. How long has it been since we've seen Tetch, Jervis Tetch, aka the Mad Hatter? DC Book of the Week is Action Comics so good. Hi. Hi, right back to you, Matt. I hear you on Batman. I am enjoying it. We're gonna talk about it in a little bit. Oh, okay. Matt says autocorrect. Please clarify because I would love to respond to exactly what you said. As far as it being a repeat of Eternal, Tyler, how much of that do you remember? Because I really don't remember
I
much of
did
that.
not read Eternal.
Oh, okay.
No,
That
yeah,
was one of the, not to you, but to the audience, for those of you who might not know, that was one of the weekly books that DC did. Batman Eternal was weekly for like a year or whatever, and it was written by James Tynion. Pretty sure Scott Snyder was involved in that, and a
Fabric was
few
in it
other heavy
too.
hitters.
I think doing some of the art. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. hmm Um, yeah, I don't remember what the story there was, but we'll talk more about Batman a little later when we get to that. I also wanted to comment on the Captain America Jim Hammond interaction because Cap Cap is the exact same character, it feels like, as the main line. And it's not that that bothers me necessarily because I love Cap and I think, you know, that character is who I want him to be. I wouldn't want them to try and do like the Ultimates, the OG Ultimates Cap is fine, but I don't want that again. But up until I got almost halfway through this issue before I felt I was seeing something that I couldn't see in mainline.
I almost wonder that Cap being so much like our Cap, quote unquote, like 616 main universe, is more of a condemnation of previous Ultimates Cap. And it's like, well, I have to do something different than Ultimates. What's the most different? Oh, a lovable Captain America, an
Eh,
understanding Captain America. Maybe I like that Jim Hammond is there and he's a foil to Cap's fish out of water. That is typical for the character. Um, Jim is like, yeah, I was there with you, but I'm adjusting fine. This is doable. Yes, I'm an android, but it's still doable, and you can do this. I like that he had someone to play off of there. Um, he never really had that, so that was at least different for me. But it is very much like it's mainline continuity Captain America. It's MCU Captain America. It is just bread and butter Cap.
and Jim Hammond is like he looks very modern. He's got a pink hairdo. He
That
looks
hair is
like
bad.
what's his name?
Quentin Quire.
Yeah, he looks like Quentin Quire actually in a lot of ways, and he's just adjusting. And Cap looks like he could have essentially walked out of the 30s. Um, I'm not complaining. It's just something that I'm taking note of. And then there's a scene with Thor and Sif that was this kind of page where you have to actually turn the book. I really like this. This was really well done, but it references things that I wasn't fully sure if we had prior knowledge of, like All Father Loki is the All Father. That's a pretty big deal.
This this bit was, I guess, the most confusing for me out of all the pages, because this felt like, all right, Sif and Thor are gone. They're leaving this team, and it almost felt like a backdoor pilot for an Ultimate Thor book, because it's like, hey, here's all this stuff that's happening in the background that we won't be able to handle in Ultimates because these two main characters are going off to do their own thing. Um, but that is not something that has been announced or even rumored that I've seen. But it felt out of place a bit.
I mean, they're giving us a peek at what everybody's up to, so they just needed to show us what these two are getting on with. Them not necessarily being on the board going forward for some period of time is not a good thing for these ultimates at all. But Sif says the Asgard rebellion begins now. So where should we start? The Asgard rebellion. That's very interesting.
I know, and it's like the Ultimates don't have time for that. They're doing their own rebellion. So like, why mention this if I don't feel like it fits in with an Ultimates book? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, to give the world a bigger feel, like, some book has to tell us things that are happening in the grander scope, and there is no central book. So if that's what those two characters are going to go off and do, and they're off the board, then it makes perfect sense to tell us that.
I'd like to see it too, though. Where, I don't
And
know,
we
but I'd
might
like to see it. Yeah.
very well may. Matt Fisher with another 990 or another 999. Pretty much Batman was great. Feels slightly eternalish outside of both main X books, Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men. It could be Uncanny. I'm assuming you mean Uncanny. Or no, I guess Ultimate X-Men. Ultimate is my current top 5 Marvel books until Clark battles Thanos. Make mine comics, pals. Thank you, Matt, for the 999. And yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I wouldn't say Ultimate X-Men, but the other stuff, yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, Ultimates is easily in my top five. I know when we get to our end of the year, um, stats. I guess Marco will be giving us stats this year. But once we get to the end of the year, I think Ultimates is going to be pretty high up there for us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm on record. It's my favorite. It's my favorite comic book on the market right now. Yeah, like I said, this is my pick of the week. I really couldn't have asked for more. This is the double green flagger for me. It did exactly what it needed to do. I think it did what I wanted it to do. This is a series that has been pretty bang bang go for a while, and so taking a short breather. We've got the Ultimates Year One issue that Tyler referenced. I think that's out the next couple weeks,
I think
and then we're
next
gonna
week.
know the path. Going forward for the next year of Ultimate Stories as we march towards the Maker's arrival. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, this is a real somber beach issue in a way. So I was pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, yeah, this is good stuff. Let's see what the commenters are saying. Atomic Hound says my LCS caught up in the whole Diamond Warehouse closing, so no Marvel books this week. Not good for a small family-owned business. No Ultimates in the kennel this week. Yeah, a lot of you guys on our Discord actually have been talking about this. So apparently, the distribution issues that Diamond has been having due to the warehouse closure have had has had a cascading effect. We thought it was only going to be a problem last week,
Yeah.
but as it turns out, this week stores are being impacted. And I talked last week about how that can damage, stores on a goodwill front. If people are like, well, why didn't you get our stuff? How could you not have my comics? Or just the fact that stores rely on big books to make money. If you don't get your copy of, say, Batman, for example, and that's a heavy seller for you, you're missing out on a lot of dollars that week.
You speaking for yourself there? um, it's rough because with the internet and with digital, it sucks when you can't get your book physically, even though you've made the trip, and now spoilers are around. People have read
Yeah.
it. That sucks. That's never fun.
Comics are a week over week business
Yeah.
for everybody involved. So it's that's a really tough thing to deal with. Chad is also pointing out that Loki was referenced in the Ultimate Invasion series. So okay, good to know. I don't have we physically seen Loki? Do we know what appearance Loki is taking?
Not that we know of.
Cool. So that's something to play with down the road. And shit, man, that could even be the next story beyond the Maker. Who knows? Like the floor is open, and I'm really excited about that.
Matt Fisher with the 199. Oh, I got Discord. Matt Fisher, you got to be in the Discord, buddy. Come
Beautiful.
on.
There you go. There you go,
Place
Matt
is
Fisher.
popping. I'll get the
We're gonna
link.
get that. Yeah, we're gonna get that link out to you in a moment. Niels Fredrickson says y'all saw the teases for 2025 Ultimate Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, we did see that. It was a very interesting group. I don't remember everybody that was on it, but we'll know more details, in 25. I don't know how excited I am about that though. The Guardians is not a team that really pops me that much.
It's not even a comic book in the mainline continuity at this point, which is insane to me. But yeah.
Yeah. Grayson Red says, I got to say, Cap's horrified reaction to the speed run of what has gone on in the country was a breath of fresh air compared to the fascist crap of 1610. Shows that he thinks changing course is a necessity. Yeah, I agree with you. I really like this version of Cap. I was just sort of pointing out that it's not different from any mainline Cap you would ever see. But that's not a problem because I don't think Cap needs to change at all. Like there's really nothing about the character that I would change if I were writing Steve Rogers. If it's gonna be Steve, that's just who it needs to be. Okay, let's dive into all new Venom #1. This is written by Al Ewing with art by Carlos Gomez, colors by Frank Diamata, letters by Clayton Cowles. So I didn't read Venom War. I didn't care to, quite frankly.
Me neither.
But I know that there was a question of who the new Venom would be. The symbiote is passing over and who's got it now and blah blah blah. Now, Marvel teased this issue out with that question, who's going to be the new Venom, making it seem as though giving this issue the appearance that you would learn the answer by the end. And Al Ewing milks that question for all that it's worth by staging this issue around a court case involving Madam Web, where they're sort of they're trying to determine some legal shit, like is she guilty? But in the subtext of that is who's Venom? And all the potential players are involved. You have Luke Cage, you have Madam Mask, as I said, you have Rick Jones is involved. So they're all there. They're all there, but we don't actually come away with the answer to the question, at least not in a like in your face way, and that rubbed me the wrong way.
I knew he would do this.
What do you mean?
Like I knew they were going to tell us who Venom was.
Uh,
Um, if the whole premise of the book and the way it was marketed was this question mark, they're going to keep doing that question mark. They're going to keep marketing that way. And I kind of liked it for that. I liked how everyone had their Clark Kent moment. You know, like, oh, let me just run away from everyone real quick, and not being suspicious at all. And then Venom shows up, and I like that one AIM soldier who is a body language specialist. So he's reading Venom, and he's like, "Whoa, this isn't Brock. This isn't Gargan. This isn't any or any of the Venoms, either Brock." He said, and he kind of knows who it is, but it's still a question mark for us. So like I'm looking at the art and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to see like, all right, Luke Cage doesn't flip. It can't be Luke Cage. I'm thinking all these things through, and I found it fun. I found it to be a kind of a fun whodunit, in like just a real dumb way. Like Al Ewing books can be super heady sometimes, um, and super, like there's Resurrection of Magneto and stuff like that. I thought this was a lot more ground level in terms of the headiness, but also in terms of like it's Luke Cage. It is literally street level Marvel, um, and I enjoyed that. I thought this was fun. I have my theories about who it is, but I also like that I have theories about who it is. I like the mystery going further, because they can swerve me constantly, and this could go on for like a full arc, which honestly kind of fun to me.
I don't care who the ultimate Venom or the new Venom is. I really don't give a shit. And I think the issues structure is very interesting. And I thought, okay, wow, yeah, Al Ewing has a rare opportunity to do something a little bit interesting here, and making it almost like a court procedural for the first half, then introducing the AIM dudes and making it a big fight was fun. Like, admittedly, it was all good fun, but the fact that I didn't get the answer by the end just chapped my ass. I don't know, man. I really just wanted to know. And if I knew the answer, I'd probably want to read the next issue to see, like, oh shit, well, all right, this is the person. Now, what are they going to do? But because I couldn't get a feel for the character and I don't know who it is, and it seems like they're intent on continuing this mystery, I'm out. Like, I don't care. I truly just don't. It sucks because, like I said, I had a good time, but the whole thing is built on who is it, and you don't learn it by the end. So I am done for $4.99. Holy shit!
I mean that was the fun for me. So it's cool how we're kind of coming about this from different places. Um, I don't even think it's any of the four that are posited as the actual Venom. Because I think we're going to get constantly swerved. Everyone's suspicious. Everyone's obvious in what they're doing, and I think that's fun. I don't know of a time a Marvel book has been kind of this question mark. This like it's a mystery book is exactly what it is. Um, and it became like almost like an I Spy book for me too, where I'm looking deeper, trying because I'm like it's Al. There's something here. The answer is in here. Um, so yeah, I mean I had fun with it.
The book builds up a the book builds up a an interesting supporting cast. We don't know how long everybody's going to be involved because that could be influenced by the identity of the new Venom. But you have, like we talked about, the actual suspects, but then you also had Paul. Paul was involved. Mary Jane was involved. Everybody's favorite couple is now a part of this book, at least for the time being. And so it should be really interesting to see who sticks around and who doesn't. If those characters found a new home here, then I wonder if in some way they are connected to who the Venom will be revealed to be.
What if Venom is Paul?
I don't think Marvel has the balls to do that.
They don't have the balls to do that.
I don't think that would even be good necessarily, but I don't think Marvel would want
Huh.
to antagonize their audience to that degree.
I mean, Ali on his way out of Marvel. Might as well just drop a bomb
We
while
don't
you
know
can.
that. We
Well,
don't know
yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true. I don't know.
Um,
I do you have an inkling on who you think it is?
no, I don't care. Like I said, I do not care because once the identity is known, it won't matter. So I would rather have gotten it in this issue rather than milk it for X amount of issues because it's not going to matter after that. So fun issue. Give me the reveal at the end. I'm on the hook because now we can just dig in on who that is, dig in on their character, do all that stuff. I'm not going to waste $30 to find out the identity of this person. I'm going to wait until everybody else says who it is when it's revealed. And if the book is good, word of mouth wise, I'll jump back on. I don't care about the person. Like until I know who it is, the mystery isn't enough for me to stay on the board. Who do you think it is?
I want it to be Paul. I think it's Rick. Rick is the only one that kind of comes out of nowhere here, and the voice sounds like Rick. Rick's the only one who has the acrobatic skills from being A-Bomb and Hulk. If I'm gonna pick one of those four, I'm thinking Rick. I also like how he's wearing the old Marvel Comics logo shirt. Does Marvel Comics exist in Marvel continuity?
Rick is like a borderline fourth wall breaker
I
type
guess. Yeah,
person.
that's true. That's
So
true. Yeah.
um the art was real good, man. The Carlos Gomez art was fire. I like this Venom design. I mean, it's Venom. Like it's not dramatically different. The color scheme is different, and that was well represented by Frank DeMarta.
The
Um
colors, the blue Venom, it felt like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Venom in a way. You know, like that special skin you'd get, where it's this bluish purple. I dug the color. I mean, I'm kind of tired of Venom variants at this point. How many different symbiotes do we have? How many different variations of Venom? How many Venom verses do we have? We're Venomed out to a point. So much so that a new movie came out. And I didn't even see it. Uh, and even with that, I was like, okay, this Venom's having fun. It's a good looking design. The art's great. Gomez did a killer job here. So even though I was Venomed out, I was like, okay, I can have fun with this. I'm enjoying this.
yeah. Definitely good dialogue too for the most part. I mean, like I said, it's a very strong comic. There's nothing inherently wrong with this book except for the fact that it's built completely around one thing and you don't know the answer to that one thing by the end. So it's one of the like, can you just accept the fact that what you're here for is not what you're going to get, but you will and probably enjoy the mechanical parts of this book a lot? That's up to you. For
Yeah.
me, the quality of the book overall wasn't enough to get over the fact that I don't want to invest what it's going to take to learn the answer to this question.
So Pete Collins here said the art was an absolute pickle tickler. Loved all of it. That is the first time I've heard that phrase before. Probably a first for this show. Uh,
All right.
I don't know if it was tickling my pickle, but I enjoyed the art. It's a pull for me.
Okay.
This is a
Yeah.
this is a pull for me.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna say pull from a quality standpoint, but I will not be continuing on with this book. So do with that what you guys will. I'm gonna close the poll now. We put a poll up for every book we review, so you guys should always make sure to vote. And I'm gonna end it now so we can see the results. 50% of you did not read the book. So 50% didn't read. Poll was 26%. Pass was 23%. Nobody said pick of the week. So an interesting response from the audience. I'm wondering why you guys haven't read it. Was it just a matter of you didn't pull it? Was it a matter of you haven't gotten to it yet? I wish I could have more options. I want to know everything that you guys have to say.
Some people might not have even been able to buy the book. It might not even been out at their shop at this point. So
That's
uh,
yeah, that's completely valid. Um, Cole says MJ and Paul are in this issue. That's odd. It's got to be Paul. I don't think it's Paul, dude. I don't think so.
I'm imagining Jr. saying like it's Kane, but it's Paul. You know, just the unmasking.
Figure drawing says having a good time. Isn't that the point? I mean, it's whoever you're talking to. I told you what my point was. I wanted to know the answer because it's not a mystery that I'm invested in, and I didn't get that. So, my choice is to not continue on. Um, yeah, damn it, my freaking
Uh,
tab died.
I
What's
got you.
that?
Yeah. So Matt Fisher came in with the 9.99 super chat. Thanks once again, Matt. And he says, yes, Marvel Comics does exist in universe. People draw the events of, let's say, Civil War in a comic form, and they can be used as legal evidence in trials. I'm not kidding. I think I remember that happening in a book, especially the legal evidence part. Interesting.
Well, we know from Thor that it exists as well because Dario Agger ended up buying
True.
Marvel
That's
and
true.
tried to destroy Thor with that. So yeah. Um Absolute Overthinker says, yeah, I can't justify trying Marvel books. As a new comic fan, I've been trying everything and I haven't enjoyed a single Marvel comic I've pulled. Psylocke, Storm, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, it is filler. You know, I hear you, dude. I think that quite frankly, you might want to try some different books because I could see where you're coming from with all of those. Those books do feel like filler to me. Even the ones of those that I like don't feel like anything is really happening. I would say you should give Ultimates a shot. If you're not reading that, Ultimates is a tremendous series. Immortal Thor is also a really, really great comic. A lot of people swear by Moon Knight. I don't. Maybe you'll feel differently.
If you're if you want a bit of a horror bend that I don't really think even DC is doing right now, I would check out Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk is also very
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Marvel has good books. Um you gotta listen to us, man. You gotta find them. You gotta listen to us, listen to whoever you trust, and take a chance. There
Yeah,
are good books.
there's a Marvel Comics section of the Discord if you want to see what people are talking about there. There's always discussion going on there.
Manny says another series following an event that followed a series can't be bothered to sit through all that. That too. That too. It's like, whatever, dude. There was a Venom war. Okay, fine. Now there's a new Venom. Wow, like we've never had this before. Like I want to get into it. I remember Agent Venom. That's what I remember. I remember Agent Venom. And in Agent Venom, we just got into the fray. Like he was guns blazing in issue 1, and we got Jack O'Lantern and that awesome rivalry. Like, I want to jump in. I don't want to do this whole mystery deal. Um, we also, what else? Cole said, not interested in Venom right now, but love Al. I will be there day one for Metamorpho and Absolute Green Lantern. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Those are going to be fun.
Look who it is.
Howdy, folks.
We have been joined by Marco.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I've arrived. The trains were terrible, and I apologize profusely for being late.
All right.
Nope. Bad books? Good books?
Any thoughts on all new Venom, Marco?
Oh, I like that. I feel like I trust Al Ewing as a writer enough that I'm gonna go in blindly and I'm gonna take what I can take. I think the mystery feels like it's from some of the discourse on Discord felt a little like people getting a little frustrated at the mystery continuing. But you know what? For me, coming in on a new number 1, I don't mind. I got some players that I don't see all too often in my Marvel reading, so I'm glad to get the interactions, and I like the end. Dylan's back. I did like that arc, and so I'm glad to see that character return. Continue if even.
You're a pull.
Paul.
Awesome.
What'd you guys say on that?
It's a three pull. It's a three puller.
Hey yo, let's go.
Absolute Overthinker, you're good, dude. He says, I know I sound ridiculous, new comic fan here, so I'm open to being roasted. There's no roasting. There's no roasting going on. You're very entitled to your opinion. I just think that there are good Marvel books out there, and I don't want to dissuade someone from trying them because I guarantee you that if you were not a fan of DC, for example, and you tried DC books, but you didn't try the good ones, you might be warded off from DC, but we know how many great DC books there are. So I just want to spread the love and let you know that there are great books out there.
And we are a Marvel podcast after all. So
Right,
That's right.
of course. Speaking of being a Marvel podcast, let's stop talking about Marvel and get on to the DC side of things, shall we? Let's talk about Absolute Superman #2. This is written by Jason Aaron, of course. Of course. With art by Rafa Sandoval, colors by Ulysses Ariola, letters by Becca Carey. One of the primary complaints about Absolute Superman #1 was that it wasn't enough. People felt like we didn't get enough Clark, or I should say enough Kal-El. And they wanted more, both in the past and in the present. And this issue delivered that in spades because it's largely focused, almost exclusively focused, on Kal-El's life, both on Earth and pre-Earth, which is a very big deal because, again, mainline Superman's whole deal is he never physically saw Krypton as a person capable of taking in information, or whatever. He wasn't old enough. But in this, he's old enough to have gone to school on Krypton. That's a huge deal that they delve into. But then also we see him facing off against the Peacemaker Corps or whatever, the Lazarus group, and he's got his little interaction with Lois Lane. A lot of table setting, but I think we also get valuable information and some beautiful art from Rafa Sandoval. Marco, how did you feel about Absolute Superman #2?
You said we needed a bit more from issue 1, so I'm glad that we got that more, but I still don't feel like I know this character enough. I can see the surface levels. He's caring. He thinks about others. He puts others in front before himself. He and those are identities and peoples that I associate with the character already. So I'm glad that that is permeating through. I think that is the central message of the Absolute Universe. You will recognize the characters. They will be in these different settings. But I still feel like this fits the mold of a Superman book. I like I like Lois here being kind of the antagonist. That is a good pairing. That's an interesting dichotomy and change from the mainline series. But there's still something I need a little more from Aaron in order for me to understand the why. And I think that's being dispatched slowly through the flashbacks. I like the school bit. He's a free thinker. I thought it was so funny that the teachers there were like, "Oh, you didn't let AI write your essay? Interesting. You wrote words?"
you would have been one of his classmates.
Hey, bro, I would have gotten an A in that class. I don't know what you're talking about. And but that was interesting. He's a free thinker. I think that falls in line with who he is in this universe. He is a quote unquote radical. He's trying to push beyond the norm, and I think that works. But I still don't know why he cares. Why does he care to do this? Is it his parents' legacy? Is it because he just feels that fundamentally he's trying to save this planet from some kind of apocalypse? For me, as I was reading this issue, I was getting a bit antsy, and I think this would be better revealed via trade for me. But I can see the mechanisms. I can see the things that Aaron's trying to do. So I'm gonna go into the third issue, at the very least, looking forward to learning more. But I do want more. Maybe me feeling that way is a good thing.
Oh, I think if you want more of the book, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Sure.
um,
Yeah.
I'm liking the slow burn actually. I think
Mm.
out of the three absolute books, this Superman is the most different from what we're used to than Absolute and Batman or Wonder Woman. I think the Superman is marginally different, and I like the bits of flashbacks we get here, the lore of what this Kal-El is, and the more we have of that in the context of the present day stuff, the more it builds Kal-El's character and who he is, and it kind of illuminates certain things. You mentioned the AI thing, where it shows he's a free thinker and he thinks for himself, and then it's mirrored later on with Lois, how she decides not to use the Brainiac AI algorithm and to write her own. Um, it kind of pairs them up in a weird way, and I think it works. I The slow burn is enough to kind of keep me going with it. I think there's a story being told here that that I find riveting. Actually, the whole like what happens to this Krypton, what happens to his parents. There's enough like question marks here that it's just we already know the answers to it in mainline Superman pretty much immediately. So them kind of drawing this out is different. It's interesting to me, and I'm digging this. I had a lot of fun with this issue.
You're on mute.
Sean, your mic again. Yeah.
You're on mute, champ.
Hi. I thought this was really great. Um, there's so much good here. I mean, first of all, it's a visual feast. Rafa's artwork is tremendous. I love the way the cape interaction and the suit. That shit is sick as hell.
That was
Like
cool.
Dust. Yeah, the dust.
The sand.
it
Oh yeah, the
it
dust. Yeah.
it gives you an element of Superman to play with that has never been there before. It's a meaningful addition to the character that I really like, and Rafa's making the most of it. I mean, those pages where it's just him and Lois engulfed um in this dust or whatever is super cool, and the reds just look great. It's just a really good looking comic, and I love the way that they're making Superman visually interesting because we all get it already. We've all seen Superman. We get the cape, we get everything. But now there's something else to look at, and I appreciate that. And as far as the flashback stuff with AI and everything like that, I almost feel like it's a bit too overdone. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow, you didn't write, oh we gotta have a conversation with your parents, and like his parents are both rebelling in ways, in big ways, so it's just like, all right, we get it. And it's so in your face, and it's so like, oh yes, we are evil, like we should all be controlled by AI. Like, I need to see a compelling reason for them to think that way before I just accept, because it makes them look bad. Like, it makes Kryptonians look bad. They haven't expressed a reason. They've just given themselves over to AI. I want to know why.
I think Manny put it pretty well. He said that some of these things were the issue was blunt, and I think some of these things, some of these concepts are very very blunt. The AI piece, it was super direct. AI bad, oh, we don't it maybe stunts an individual's growth or ability to think freely. For me, the thing that got me, that made me roll my eyes a bit, was when Lois decides, oh, I'm gonna write, and then you see the segment of written by Lois Lane, like, oh, she's gonna become the reporter, the writer. Superman inspires so much that it even turns this foe into suddenly an author. I thought that was a little tongue in cheek. I think there maybe could be subtler ways to bring those things up, and I want Aaron to use a bit more subtlety. Here it's very directed in your face, um, and those are my issues with it. I think structure wise it makes sense and it works, and I can see what Aaron has here, but the minutia of it's a little, it's not refined.
Well, dude, her fucking she goes from being a soldier with guns to a writer in 2 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
let the arc play out a little bit more. Let's do the character development over time. Like, she just all of a sudden this is what she needs to do, and it's just like, damn man, like that happened pretty fast.
I didn't read that as her becoming a writer.
No, I know what you mean,
Yeah.
but like, she became a writer. Like, they put her writing skills on display
Right.
immediately. And we know where that goes. We know the Lois Lane character. And it's like, man, you couldn't wait, past issue 2 to do that. I like this version. I want to see this version and not even get the tease of the version we know, because we get that every freaking week in
Yeah.
Action Comics.
Do you like this
Suddenly,
version of Lois being a lot more like her dad? In the
Yeah.
sense that part
Yeah.
of okay.
She's a hard ass. She's She wants to investigate. She wants to learn. I think that makes sense. But to then immediately net her out at where I would imagine an end goal is, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn. Maybe we're speaking out of turn because maybe there's another end goal for this. But that felt too immediate.
Yeah, it's just it's too soon for me to even tease that, let alone go anywhere with it. But to answer Pete Collins' question, the colors are by Ulysses Ariola, and yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Real good. Um, Sandoval. I don't know if he's my bag, dude.
What?
How?
I
Like I don't, like this
there's
just seems like one of those just like this is like this is good art. Like
in objectively
sure, yeah.
gorgeous art, right? Objectively gorgeous art. But I'm sitting here, I'm looking, I'm like, I'm not wowed. I'm not like taken aback.
It's like you could tell
Uh,
this is a good action movie, but you're not really into the mood for an action movie.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
That's fair.
I think the things that he does with the suit are probably the most interesting. I love the sand, the dirt. Again, he's from the ground, right? That is the thing that he has there. So it's being representative there. But I think that's iconography more than it is the like stylings.
You know, did you know, Marco, that this was originally supposed to be done by Raphael Albuquerque?
I'm
Ooh,
having trouble visualizing what that would look like.
not at all.
So he's actually shown some of his stuff on social.
Really
You can
interesting.
find it, and he did a variant for this issue, and I'm pretty sure the first issue as well. And I'm wondering because I think Rafa's knocking it out of the park. Personally, I think it's great, but it makes a lot of sense to me that Raphael Albuquerque was originally intended to be on this book because Rafa Sandoval doesn't feel as good as he is, and it's not to discredit him. He doesn't feel like the guy you go to when you're trying to, because Raphael did all the redesigns. He's the one who designed the new look and stuff. Rafa
Mm,
is playing in Raphael's sandbox to some degree. And again, it's not. I'm not saying Rafa's. I love this visually. I just think it's interesting.
I think I see what you mean because Rafa Sandoval is who you go to when you want a good DC comic. And the whole idea of Absolute is to be a little different from that. There's a reason why
yes,
Hayden Sherman is there, Nick Dragotta is there. Albuquerque probably would have felt different enough
Hmm.
agreed,
visually.
agreed.
Yeah,
Like they're still good. You get Rafa Sandoval for Justice League, and it makes sense to me.
that
Yeah,
was kind of yeah, that was kind of where I was going. Like he's that. I could see him being more the guy you get.
sure.
Um, I don't know, man. I love everything that Jason Aaron is putting down. Like
Yeah.
the small critiques aside, I think this is building up to something really interesting. It's kind of sort of establishing Brainiac as Superman's main first bad guy and the overarching idea of AI. It feels like a very cool setup. I like that. I like that Lex isn't where we're immediately going. And it gives Superman something to fight against that feels relevant to us today. The idea that that we're going to submit ourselves to AI and let it do the thinking for us when we need to stand on our own 2 feet and resist this wave. I love that. I just want it to be told in a way that's maybe a little bit more subtle and a more interesting way of delving into that.
One of the other things I wanted to mention too that I like about this is that traditionally Superman has been about the American way. You know, this Superman's global, and it's built into the
Mm,
DNA who the character is, and it's not what America should be. It's not based in that, and I think that's refreshing. And I didn't realize how much of that like just changing that really changes the makeup of the character, and I'm really interested to see where that goes for going forward.
agreed. I remember when we did Superman for All Seasons,
I
and
don't.
like we did a medley of books at a bygone era, and that was a critique of mine. I feel like the Americanization, it felt like an imperialism. This felt like this is what this is what a idealistic human society should look to do. Yeah, I think that's a great shout, Tyler. And then thank you, Matt Fisher, for the 4.99. And definitely want to do this in a voice. How dare people not read Absolute Superman? Harumph!
That just
Thank
sounds
you
like
for
that was
that
your normal voice.
incredible voice work. I can't believe how you transformed yourself for that.
I became a different person.
It's like Alan Tudyk.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm double flagging this, baby. This was great. Doesn't make my pick of the week, but it's a strong, strong comic.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm going to end that poll now. Let's see what you guys are saying about this. 57% of you say pull, 27% say pick of the week, 9% say didn't read, and 6% say pass. So the polls have it this week, certainly. Overwhelmingly, you guys are into this. I do think this was probably a step up from the first issue in some ways.
That's the trajectory you want to see as a book. It's a pull for me. This is an easy pull. I really like this. Not my pick of the week, though.
It definitely pull. I think I agree. It's a step up. It's giving me a little bit more, and I'm hungry for more. That's a good sign.
Yes. I'm with you. I agree. Matt Fisher with the 199. I just realized I'm 10 minutes behind in the chat.
Well, you'll hear that one soon.
Yeah. You got to catch up, buddy.
Yo, put 2x speed.
We've got 72 of you hanging out with us right now. Thank you guys so much for that. Make sure you smash that like button if you are digging what we're doing here. Thank you for choosing us to be your review crew this week. We've got quite a few more books to get through. And then later on, I want to talk about Marvel Rivals. I want to see if anybody in our community is trying to play that, because we might even do like a hangout type thing after this. I don't know. I'm going to be on. So if what's up, Marco?
Is it? Can you download it already?
You can download it, and it's
minutes.
going to be playable. It's. I think it's playable at 7. It's going to be playable imminently.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like people want to hang out and jump on. If we're gonna do that though, it's gonna come together on Discord. But we'll talk about it later in the show. We'll talk about that later in the show. Let's get into the next book review, and that is Batman. Batman, the comic that I do not physically have. What a tragedy, guys. What a tragedy.
Hey,
go ahead, Marco. Go ahead.
Let me give you mine.
Go ahead.
Here you go. Take it.
Go ahead.
You know what? I don't want it.
Some guy in a black hoodie on a city bike passed by Sean really fast and knocked it out of his hands.
Shit, dude.
Seemed like I was
Terrible tragedy. All right. So Batman, written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Jorge Fornes, colors by Timu Murray, letters by Clayton Cowles. So we've railed pretty hard against Batman last month, excuse me. We didn't really care for that issue. We talked pretty rough about it because we just didn't buy into the twist with Jim Gordon and all that good stuff. We just felt like people were acting out of character, etc. I don't feel that way about this issue, certainly. This issue redeems the last one in a lot of ways. And I will definitely apologize because I said I would. If I found that this issue redeemed the last one, I will apologize for going as hard in the paint as I did about Batman number 154. This issue establishes a lot of information we did not have, like the fact that Jim Gordon apparently is a fucking player, and he is sleeping with the mayor's wife on the low.
Giving free mustache rides.
That is crazy. That is crazy. And that the mayor essentially, wants Jim out of the picture. And these two had a battle. And, it looks like Jim killed him, but there's more than meets the eye. And Batman is on the case, trying to figure out who ultimately is behind this. And I think all that unfolds really well. And the art of Fornes is just fucking so good, man. Like, perfect stuff. I really wish. I don't know if Chip's run fits Fornes' style throughout, but this issue, he was the right guy for the job.
This was my pick of the week, and I was surprised by the end of it. Is yours too, Marco?
Nope.
Okay. I a lot of things clicked for me here. It never fucking hurts to have Fournier's on art. Fournier is you said it right, Sean. He's the right guy for this. This is a more of a GCPD piece of Gordon, and we're learning all about the stuff with Gordon, and Batman's kind of on the periphery of this issue, to be honest. Um, it's really from Gordon's POV, and then it sort of shifts 2/3 in. Um, but I really like that. But what I really liked about this is that I'm starting to see where Chip is bringing his Batman run, or at least what he's trying to tell here through this last bit before Hush Tua happens. With Batman kind of realizing that Gotham is changing without him, and he's becoming disillusioned because he's seeing all of these people that he considered to be good men with him maybe aren't so, and he's becoming almost disenchanted with this idea. And I like that. I like the idea of like Jim Gordon's a flawed man, and Batman is seeing that in a way. Of course, there are Gotham things that happen that cause it, but Jim Gordon did sleep with the dude's wife, like that he did on his own volition. So and his dad also had an affair. So there's this thing of like these good men are doing things that maybe are perceived as not good, and it's almost like a little boy trying to realize his parents are humans in a way, and I like that. It's different. I'm not sure where Chip's going with it fully. He seemed to have dropped the Court of Owls bit in this issue, but I liked this issue pretty good. I thought it was my favorite one since All In, probably.
Yo, I'll give it up to Gordon. Gets it. But man, I don't know, dude. I feel like the the end bit, the reveal, the bait and switch diminished it for me. Like this wasn't his character, right? On purpose, for sure. When I saw the beginning of the affair, I rolled my eyes. When I saw the lengths to which he would go to protect this, I rolled my eyes. And then for it to reveal to be mind control, like to what degree, to what point? Like for me, I didn't read it as he uh, had the affair out of his own volition. He didn't feel sad about that.
Well, there's a timeline because he did say he got his glasses changed last week, so that is too soon. Like he did the other stuff further on because that's like 13 weeks back.
Mm. Oh yeah, what was it? It was like 8 weeks or something.
Yeah, it's
10 weeks. 10 weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
8 weeks ago when he had the kiss. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. It just played out for me as I saw I felt like I saw where it was going, and it just didn't feel genuine. The disgruntled housewife. She's sad. Oh, my husband doesn't love me. Oh, let me be the warm man in your bed type thing. Like, and then he's kind of like, oh, should I have done this? I can't believe it. He's smoking a pipe. Yo, my dude was fucking smoking right after a session. All pissed about Vandal Savage. Like, it felt a little whatever to me. I wasn't interested in this one. I can see where you're going and why you would like it, but it didn't play.
Yeah, I don't know. I think all that was really good. And Jim Gordon is definitely the guy to do this because he cheated on his wife to begin with.
Dude,
That's been a core part
yeah.
of his character that he's like outside his morals outside of his job are questionable depending on your point of view. But the point is that when it comes time to it, he's a good guy. And I like that about Jim's character. And so in that regard, Chip Zdarsky's playing the hits with Jim. And I don't say that to criticize him. I think that's perfectly fine. Jim is a guy you can do that with. Um, but like I gotta tell you, I can't give a damn less about this whole Bruce's brother angle. I really don't care.
Yeah.
I think that's bizarre. It was done well in Scott's run. It was handled fine. I just think here it just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it matters. It feels like it's the C thing that's happening which would be okay if we didn't see scenes of Bruce trying to interact with his brother and stuff like that. I don't know that I care too much. And also, is the brother going to be revealed to be this Captain douchebag guy or what?
Yeah, there's our B and D plots have to line up somewhere.
The fact that we have B and D, C and D plots, dude, are what kind of wild. Like CW Gordon says it here. There just seems to be a lot of ideas in this arc. Riddler, the Court of Owls, the Commander Guy, Jim Gordon's Fall from Grace, blah blah blah. Like the Wayne Tech thing at the end, or the Riddler. What was it? The Enigma Tech.
Enigma Tech. Yeah.
Enigma Tech, right?
Oh man, yo, Mad Hatter. Though.
I know you'd pop for it.
Dude. Oh,
I knew you would, and I was like, no, Sean is having a good time.
He doesn't even need to
I
show
saw,
up.
I saw the little T in between that thing. I was like, okay, we get it.
that shit was mad funny too. He looked at those glasses.
It was like a Kaiser
Wait a
Soze
second.
moment, you know?
Like, oh fuck. Damn it. It's the Mad Hatter. Oh shit. It's the Riddler. He's back again. Oh no.
Bro, the bit that got me was where he proves that he, saw the killing and took and Gordon took the body, or like the he cleaned the scene because he like saw in somebody else's camera in the reflection of like the small car window that he's in there. Dude, that felt to me like when they're in like a CSI or whatever. It's like
Zoom
enhance. Yeah. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm a big fan of the propulsion. I really love it when a writer can set up multiple dominoes to fall at the same time. I love that. The way this all broke out, where the cops are on Batman's ass, and he's like, wait a second, I figured this shit out. And they're grabbing on him, and he's like, wait, it's Jervis Tech. Oh my God. I loved all of that. I guess I just wish I cared about more of the pieces. It reminds me a lot of like Morrison's Batman, when everything starts to fall apart and he sees the Zurinar on the camera and they're breaking in and beating the shit out of Alfred and but I cared so much about all those developments, whereas here I don't care about Bruce's potential brother. We've played that card already. The Riddler feels sort of whatever to me. I don't understand what the Court of Owls are doing right now. But that moment at the end still hooks me because I love shit like that, and it looks so good because Fornes is here.
The Fornes art and that interrogation room scene.
Oh,
where Batman was like me as a kid when my mom was trying to take my Game Boy away from me, like, oh, 5 more minutes. Like, I almost got this figured out. Great. The way it was colored with those like exit door reds, it's like the flashing reds with the security lights go off.
Yeah,
So Fornes just works so well with Batman because the shadows are inherent in his art, and it just pops when it's in a Gotham setting.
The panel, let me show it to you guys right here. The panel right here where he punches through, it kicks through the interrogation window. Phenomenal. What
fire.
Great sequence.
Yes. And by the way, Tamumare just killing it on colors in this issue. I feel like he was as important as Fornes to bringing that final sequence to life, because those reds were hitting. Great. I thought this was a really strong issue. Like, I get it. We're not enthused about Chip's run anymore for a variety of reasons. And it almost feels like it just should have ended when the failsafe stuff happened and resolved. But I don't know, man. I do think there is still some good here. Mad Hatter, that goes a long way with me. Like, can we get these men involved more? These characters, these B, C, D list villains, please.
It's nice to see Riddler do villain shit.
Yeah.
Instead of being a punching bag or a pseudo good guy.
Yeah. I agree.
Beauty boy Riddler.
I pulled, man. I definitely pull. I thought this was strong. It's this run going out with a bang? I don't say that. But I am pleased with this issue, and I hope that it ends strong. That's as much as I can hope for at this point. To end solid.
Same, yeah. And I'm with you, Sean. It almost does reek of like Chip finished his story, right? And this kind of feels like he's treading water, helping out the other team. Because Chip in his newest Chip News free thing that comes out the shops pretty much admitted like he's gone after this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I'm enjoying it for what it is at this point.
Pass for me, dog.
All right. Fair enough. And let's see what the poll has to say. Someone end the poll for me, please, because I got it. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Polls ended. 47% of you say you didn't read it. 39% of you pulled it. Passed was 13%. Nobody chose it as their pick of the week. Man, wow. Batman just has no, only Tyler. Batman has no equity anymore. It's kind of crazy.
It's not the title, man.
Soon Metamorpho is going to have more equity.
Yikes.
Certainly.
Just for Marco's magnanimous metrics, Ultimates everybody pulled.
We're not making that a thing, Marco.
Hey, it's okay. It changes every week. You guys all pulled on Ultimates?
Yes.
Sick.
And it was Sean's pick of the week.
Ah, thank you. That's what I needed.
So CW Gordon says this does not feel like the grand culmination of Zdarsky's run. Any chance he's coming back after Hush 2? I'm going to say a big fat no to that. I don't think that Chip, look, I don't know this for a fact. I've not spoken to Chip Zdarsky, but I would be surprised if Chip was happy with the way that things have played out here towards the end. Chip had an agenda that we're going to ship Batman every week, and then that didn't happen, which, let me tell you, it's very unlikely that there are too many creators who want their book shipping weekly. That is a brutal schedule to keep. And to work towards that schedule only to be told, we're not actually going to do that, kind of sucks. It also sucks that we could have had Jimenez close out the run, but we can't because they went towards that weekly schedule, and there's no way that Jimenez could accomplish that. So now parts of the run that didn't have to be drawn by others were. And yes, again, very happy with what Fornes did, but I'm a big believer in writer, artist, colorist for the whole run. And we're not getting that. We're not even closing it out like that. There's 3 issues to go, and we have a fill-in artist? That feels bad.
Yo, there's still 3 issues?
I think there's still another fill-in artist next week, too. Or next
yeah, and
time.
again, it's because the schedule of this book was supposed to be something that it's not.
158 is when new arc starts, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. Let's see. Robert Kashabak. What's up? Robert says, hey, pals. Glad to finally catch the live show. I'm all set to win Sean Stack. Putting it out there, huh? Okay, I like that. Good to see you, Robert.
Manifest it.
There you go. Comic Book History says, where was Court of Owls in this book? The Court of Owls guy was in the comic. Leonard, whatever his name is. He was there. He didn't really do a lot, but he's there.
You ever hear the name Leonard? It's hard for me to read. I can't read it in my head. It just looks like a
I'm
fake
with
name.
you.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're with me, Sean.
I know
I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, why is this name annoy me so much? It does not look good.
Oh my goodness. James Jones says Chip wrapping it up is okay. Thought Chip did a good job. Not as good as his Daredevil, but good. I agree. I think Daredevil ended a lot stronger.
Daredevil is the bee's knees. It's good stuff. Devil's Reign too.
And I was gonna say it ended with a pretty strong. I would argue probably Marvel's best event that year. Not that I can recall what else they did, but Devil's Reign was pretty damn good.
I would argue one of the best events in recent memory. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The one that Chichetto was on every issue for.
Wow.
Look at that.
Color me shocked. Cole said, didn't Riddler get a split identity by the Warden guy in Arkham or something? We're just going to forget. Rid and R. I want to be rid of this run. So hopefully we can just get those issues out and we can close it. I think the Riddler's new personality is baked into all of this stuff. Because if I recall correctly, Riddler was doing the good guy dance for a little while.
A little bit.
Or like the tweener dance. And now he got his personality adjusted. So
Got that shit fixed.
For free too.
Yeah. Where you at, Arkham?
Yeah. All right. So let's get out of that whole deal. Let's talk Two Face. Let's talk Two Face. Two Face number one. This is where is my copy? Oh, there it is. Thank you. Two Face number one. This is written by Christian Ward with art by Fabio Veras. Colors by is it Ivan Placencia?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the creative team. Oh, and then letters by Hassan Atzman El How. Two Face is part lawyer, part gangster. To me, all badass. I love Two Face so much. And I was really looking forward to this, but I wasn't sure exactly what the premise would be here. Essentially, it's like a kangaroo court, a fake court where Two Face is, again, presenting as a lawyer. It's called the White Church, and on the stand is actually Victor Zaz, a very familiar villain, of course, to all of us. And it's the question is, did he do it? Did he not do it? And you get a lot of that stuff. In the midst of all of that is an examination of the Two Face character, of what makes Harvey tick, and what we're dealing with here. Is it Harvey? Is it Two Face? Is it both? Like what's the angle? The ending of the book does give us a surprise answer to that question, and I will say that I was a lot happier with the end result of this than I thought I would be.
Mm.
I really like this. This was almost my pick of the week. Um, I like how batshit crazy Harvey Dent is. This. He's not redeeming at all. This is not a redemption. This is not him, being a hero in his own book. No, he's a scumbag still, and he's only doing this stuff for him. But I like that, and I like how there's a bit of a peek into the underbelly of Gotham that I feel like we don't see enough of anymore. Everyone wants to clean up Gotham when they write a Batman book. This shows how dirty it still is, and gets to show some deal like Reaper. When's the last time you saw Reaper in a Batman book?
Don't even know
Years.
who it is.
Exactly. It's one of those real deep cuts, and the fact that he was the judge. I was like, yeah, I'm eating this shit up. This is fun stuff, and I ultimately came out of this book like, this is a lot of fun. It's batshit crazy. Does it make total sense? I don't think so. But that also then puts me in the same shoes as Two Face. I thought this was great.
Well, I'm of the other mind in that case because I
Nice one.
thought it was batshit crazy in not a great way. Um, there was it started out strong. I wanted to give it a chance, and then we got to this moment where they're trying to pass judgment on what's his name? Where is he? Jimmy the Thin. On like whether or not he ultimately will be uh, have to apologize or do whatever, and at the end of the day, they still flip the coin, and it's up in the arms. It's up in the air. It's still up to chance, and if that suddenly invalidated like 7 pages of the book. Like, then what is the point of the trials? If we're ultimately leaving this to a 50-50 chance and a 50-50 split, I was confused by that and why present it that way. I did like the end where we're trying to Two Face is essentially trying to get back into the good graces of Gotham Law. I thought that was interesting, the way that he has locked away uh, the Two Face, that individual into his mind, and he's been kind of acting as if he's still somewhat crazed. But that didn't hook me enough to want to, or it didn't hook me enough to be interested in how this is going to progress. This felt like uh, an attempt to kind of rethink the character, but it felt out of place and odd.
Yeah, I'm generally a person who doesn't want to read stories that are centered around the a character who's typically an antagonist, especially if they're currently an antagonist. I just don't think it really works too great for my sensibilities. Um, this has some of those problems, because Two-Face has to be the protagonist, but he also has to be a bad guy. And this is one of those books where it's like, wow, I actually enjoyed this issue. I was on the hook for all the crazy stuff. And, you know, everybody present for this court case is a criminal. So it doesn't surprise me that it goes left. And I like the Victor Zaz angle. I thought that was all very interesting. The way that he's got a knife, hiding inside of himself that he whips out to do his thing, and it just all falls apart. And that makes a lot of sense for me with Two-Face, because every time that Harvey tries to put things back together or get things right, it always falls apart for him. He can never go back, no matter what he tries. And I like that. And I think the art's really good. But I'm not buying issue 2 of this, because this to me was a really good one solid issue. I would have loved this if it was a one shot, but I don't want to invest myself in an ongoing story following somebody who I truly believe is better suited to be seen less, not more. That's how I feel about pretty much every villain. I feel like that strongly with Two-Face. I care about him, but I care about him through the lens of Batman, and I don't want this, despite the fact that I did enjoy the issue.
Even the because you mentioned the end, added a little twist for you that kind of tipped you over on the side of good for this. Even that is not enough.
The twist, the twist at the end, is that what you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the twist being that Harvey is in full control right now, and he's faking the Two-Face of it all.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, that's cool, but then I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this before, and it's hard to judge comics that way because there's only so many things you can do. It's interesting, but I don't need to see it play out because Batman's not here. This can only go so far, and it just feels like a story I don't need to know. This was a really good one issue, but I don't need to know more.
My favorite bit about this was Harvey's reasoning for this. He's like, I'm going to put away all these bad guys and get them killed, and the Department of Justice will love me for it. I'm like, you idiot. No.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. You're insane. And I thought that was almost charming in a way, like how stupidly insane he is.
Yeah.
I had a similar reaction, just like once he says that. Let me see if I can find it. About system in place. Yeah, when I show the state's attorney office what I've achieved here, they'll be welcoming me back with open arms. I'm like, bro, wake up. Where are you, dude? You're in the literal underground, the white church, passing judgment on who? Criminals that don't care for the rule of law? No. It a little just silly, just like not a little, it's a lot silly, and
it's a lot.
It jumped the shark a bit for me, man.
That was almost like Schumacher or Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face in a way, with how stupid the reasoning was, and that is my favorite Two-Face, which I know is probably a really bad take. But I dug it. I was like, oh, this is stupid. I love it.
Sean, do you feel like they're trying to rehabilitate Two-Face in this book, like, and that's part of an issue?
No, I don't feel like they're trying to rehabilitate him. I think they let him still do Two-Face stuff. The fact that Harvey is in control, but he's still willing to kill people and do whatever, that's a really bad thing, not a good thing for Two-Face in terms of rehabilitation.
That's fair.
So I like that. The commitment I appreciate. But the Joker book was really great. And the reason why that was palatable for me was because Jim Gordon was the protagonist. And Joker was present, but Jim was really the driving force. This doesn't have that other side to it.
Which book?
Yeah, I thought you didn't read
Joker.
That. I didn't know you read that.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
My cousin. I'm sorry, my cousin.
When he summarized it for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
Right.
There was a Thanksgiving, discussion. Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is a poll for me. I really liked it. It was almost pick of the week, but I liked Batman enough, and it surprised me and the shifted quality from the previous issue that won my pick. But this was close.
Maybe I'm grumpy today, man. This was a pass.
The Subway will do that to you.
Yo, bro, hot, fucking stuck in between things, standing.
I did want to, before I give you my answer, I did want to call out just the fact that the first 3 pages of this book are insanely beautiful. They kind of give you
Yes.
the cliff notes on Two Face and his origin, from Harvey and everything like that. And I don't know if this what no, it definitely wasn't Christian Ward, although this reminds me a lot of what Christian does do.
Yeah.
But God, it's gorgeous.
The lettering by Haas is insane on those
Yeah,
first couple
yeah,
pages.
on
Yeah.
these pages, yeah, it's really, really sick.
It was
I
always
I,
super evocative.
I kind of wish the book had more of that vibe, maybe. Like
Yes.
it just could have been more visually interesting. Those were the only issues of the book that I was like, wow, this looks crazy. This is cool.
Could still
Yeah.
be. We could still see that. I mean, is it an ongoing? Do we know what this is?
Uh,
What is an ongoing nowadays?
it's the DC way, so it's an ongoing until it's not.
On that upfront art piece, yeah, I agree. If this, I think this book would have done a lot more for me visually and probably hooked me in more if we got more of these pulpy colors, like the purples, the contrast with the oranges, this like gross green when he's looking at himself in the mirror. The Hello Handsome bit. Yeah, for sure. I think it was trying to evoke a Christian word, and then kind of just got back into your basic you know muted browns for background, flat kind of colors on top. And it's interesting because it's Placencia. I almost expect more from him and his work.
But I don't think it's FCO.
Ivan Placencia. Yes.
Yeah,
Or were they two different individuals?
Different Placencias.
FCO is the company that Placencia works out of, but I don't know if this is the same person. I legitimately don't know, but I assume if it were, he would be credited as FCO Placencia, but I
Sure.
don't know.
He was too busy trying to get Wolverine pages to do this book.
Um, I'm gonna say pass, but like I said, this is a one and done for me. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm gonna say pull, but it's a one and done. I'm not gonna continue on with this, even though I liked it. It just feels too generic. Like it's a regular Two Face story. Even the art doesn't go anywhere crazy, except those few pages we pointed out. So it just doesn't do enough for me to need to hang around. But I enjoyed what I got.
Yeah, agreed. I think this is a functional comic. It does what it needs to do. I'm just not jiving with it, so it's a pass for me in that regard.
I said it was a poll.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it was a poll just for Marco's stats.
Yeah.
54% of you didn't read. 18% of you pulled it. 18% of you passed it, and 9% of you said pick of the week. So, all right, a little all over the place, but okay, fair enough. Let's see what you guys are saying. Absolute Overthinker says, Sean, did you watch the Penguin HBO show? Did you like that? I thought it was fantastic. I like villains POV if it's done well. So I am a big, big fan of The Sopranos. Two Face or Penguin certainly had a lot of similar qualities. It's a great television show. I loved it a lot. I feel very differently about that in television than I do in comics. I feel differently about it in movies as well. I think in the show, it's like, okay, this is coming off the heels of the movie which Penguin was in, and it's leading into another movie in which Penguin will be in. So it's really just a story within the margins of the larger Batman story that's being told. And I can vibe with that because I know that it's going somewhere where we will see Batman and Penguin interact. This is a Two-Face story through and through. It's going to remain that way, presumably. And I could do without all that. Look at Joker. Joker 1 is a great movie. It doesn't feel like Joker almost at all, but it's a great movie unto itself. Joker 2 feels like they could have used some Batman in that day. So that's my take.
Just on the colors piece, Ivan Placencia and FCO Placencia. FCO is a pseudonym for Francisco Placencia. They seem to be cousins.
Oh, wow. They're cousins?
Looks to
Coloring is
be. Yeah, I
genetic.
see a tweet here from Ivan. My favorite colors will always be my cousin FCO. He's a real master in the craft, experimenting with style, technique, and graphic design. There you
Cool.
go.
Dan says Tony is the lead character about The Sopranos. Two-Face was created as a sometimes adversary to the main character. Yes, exactly. I just don't really care for spin-offs that are based on villains. Like I would never really care for like a Norman Osborn series or a like I could do without all that. Victor Bettino says, I see where this is going. I will catch you guys later. I don't understand that. Where is it going? Um, all right, let's get into JSA. This is the book that you guys voted on. This is the book that you wanted us to read. Pretty overwhelmingly, this is what you all voted for.
50 something
Right
percent.
now, we do have another poll up, of course, as we do every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. This one features Amazing Spider-Man number 63, which only has 11% of the vote. You guys are not high on ASM. Transformers number 15 with 16% of the vote. It typically wins, but it's not right now. Green Lantern number 18 with 34% of the vote. And winning at the moment is Superwoman Special number 1 with 38% of the vote. That can still change. We'll see where it goes. Make sure you vote at youtube.com/the comics pals under the community tab.
Linked in the chat for those of you
There
who
you go.
are
Good job.
who haven't yet voted.
Awesome. All right, let's get into JSA number 2. So this is written by Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire with art by Diego Olortegui, colors by Luis Guerrero, letters by Steve Wands. Man, if you thought the first issue was action packed as far as like drama and character dynamics and all that stuff, this issue takes everything that the first one was doing and jacks it up. It is so much fun. Dude, this could have been my pick of the week just as easily as Ultimates, just as easily as Absolute Superman. I thought this was fantastic. Like they introduced the villains. What are they called? The Society of Villains.
Yeah.
Injustice Society, wasn't it?
The
Injustice.
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah,
they do it in the
Injustice
best way
Society,
possible
yeah.
too, where they keep name dropping people as they're introduced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and quick too. This was my pick of the week. Um, yeah, I loved once Grundy came out, dude. I was like, oh shit, that's it. We're in it. It quick out of and it felt jarring, which I appreciated. I think there are moments where sometimes you can feel like pacing goes too quickly, but in this case, it threw me off balance, and I felt that with the characters, and so I felt like it mirrored my emotion with the emotions of these individual characters as well, who got completely caught off guard.
And Sean, this issue pretty much explains what the mystery of the first issue was. So we talk about all new Venom and how that mystery is probably going to be dragged out for a bit. And the mystery of what happened in the first issue gets answered right away in this one. And I think that was beneficial for the story. I think the first issue was really about the younger generation, and this issue is about the older generation, what happened to them, and why they're in this rock of eternity in the middle of nowhere. And they do my favorite JSA thing of all time, and that's fuck up Hawkman.
Yo,
Hawkman's always gotten fucked up. It's hilarious. So I had a lot of fun with this too. I thought this is really good. I think the Lemire, like this is Lemire's cup of tea, and it is just like it's refreshing to see somebody do such good work on a book you knew they would do good work on, and he knew he would do good work on. Like this is his dream job, and it's cool seeing that that passion kind of just bleed out onto the page.
Yeah, man. It just feels like this book never stops moving. Things never stop happening. Like even when people are standing around talking, there's shit happening. And they're arguing with each other, and the next page, there's some badass stuff going on. These villains are crazy. Like, who is this guy? Sorrow, yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Yo, he
Power
has
Girl.
no face.
He was in that Power Girl series you read, Sean. The Leah
Right,
Williams.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, he was really good there. This dude is amazing.
Oh, with the
Like, I
mask.
just love being introduced to characters I have no idea about who they are, but they're introduced in a way that's cool, and it makes you want to see more of them.
Yeah. Uh, I think that because they're introduced at such high stake moments, it makes you also feel like they have the upper hand. Like I had the moment I had a moment where I thought, oh, this feels distinct from the Justice League because, the Justice League can Grundy, yeah, we'll clean him up. You know, uh, the Gentleman Ghost, yeah, we'll clean him up. These guys feel like there's stakes and there's danger involved with these villains and involved with them separating the group. And then when Jay's running around trying to find the exit, and just smack straight into the ground. Oh, Jay's out. That's it. All right, who's the rest of this, man? Like, both Wildcats keep getting like, what are you doing here? Scooch over.
When you
Yeah.
guys read this, do you do the same thing I do and like you start googling all these characters? Like I want to know about who these people are.
I,
Go ahead, Sean.
I never do that. I want the story to tell me what I need to
Agreed.
know.
Oh, interesting.
And I feel like this is doing that very well. Like, it's to Jeff Lemire's strength if I don't have to do that to understand what's going on. And so far, despite me coming in with like very little knowledge of these people, I'm having a great time and I don't feel lost.
What I do is I like to I don't want to know what's going on when I do that Wikipedia. I just like I want to know how old this character is, and like I'm looking these characters up.
Mm.
Flash #1, Doctor Elemental shows up. Like these are old ass villains too, so that kind of fits into like being the mirror to JSA, and that kind of enhances it for me. Like I still don't really know who they are, but I know how old they are and where they come from. So I think that's interesting to me. I want to know more about these characters too.
One of their stats.
Yeah, I like a DC encyclopedia, a Marvel
Yeah,
encyclopedia sort of thing. That's
I get
kind of my
that.
thing.
Yeah, I agree. I want to hear it in story. I want them to like, because then it adds stakes. Sean, have you read any Black Hammer?
I think Cale forced us to read some Black Hammer something or other at some point, and maybe it was for that segment we used to do. But I liked it fine enough, from what I can recall.
Was it during the pals polls at the end of the show we were doing?
No, it was like the
No.
ask for something. It was something else.
Okay.
I think there was another thing that you might have done. It was in the universe, but it wasn't this necessarily, or Black Hammer necessarily. Anyway, the point being, he's bringing those trappings to this book, and it's fitting so well, so well.
Yeah, it feels like Jeff Lemire really has a knack for not only these characters, which I gather is because he's a big fan, but of the way to tell stories with teams this huge. I mean, there are a ton of characters in this between the heroes and villains. And I don't know, man. This is just a great team book. It's one of the only, well, I shouldn't even say that because team books are having a resurgence right now. We've
Hmm.
got I wish I could have an image of all the great team books. You've got Uncanny X-Men, you've got JSA, you've got JLU, you've got GI Joe, you've got Ultimates, not you Avengers, not you X-Men, but yeah, we're in a good spot right now.
Teen
For team books.
Titans.
Even Nicole Maines is brewing some kind of team book up that she's been teasing with Superboy, Superman, and all that stuff. Yeah, teams are hot right now.
Hell yeah. Um, and then we didn't talk about the Olortegui art. It's kind of it I don't know how to describe it. Like, it gives you exactly what you need. It's very basic. It gets the job done.
Hmm.
It doesn't blow my socks off necessarily, but I feel like you're getting the emotion in the faces that you need. The action sequences are crisp and clean. I like I like the last page a lot of Hawkman just getting fucking jabbed in the chest with a flaming sword. Um, so yeah, it's serviceable. Like I'm not all in love with the colors or the pencils, quite frankly, but they're doing it.
For me, the art is classic, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like it is very much like what I feel like. Like I could have picked up any DC book at any time, and it sort of looks like this, and I mean that lovingly. And I would hope that it's intentional as well. Um, I'm digging the art. I think the art, the emotive nature that Orle Tigui manages to put into the characters' faces is great. Everyone is it's feeling something at every time, and you can really see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's almost like this, and I wonder if Gavin were here, he'd break down like the trees or the paths for stuff. Like for me, every time I see like the scratchies on the nose, I think of Capullo. I feel like he comes from that kind of school. There's like tightness on the lines, but then there's also there's jaggedness to certain things. Yeah, I really enjoy the art, and to the communicative end, the as an example, you have the moment where Khaled transports everybody to the Tower of Fate, and he's panicked, he's sweating. It's a sequence of 4 panels where he's like, "Oh, they wanted a helmet." He's uh, Lantern trying to tell him to slow down. Where's Jakeem? Where's Obsidian? Hawkgirl's like something's not right. They're just really good beats and really good moments that in order to accentuate the drama they're in. That I think the team of Lemire and Orlortegui is a perfect pairing.
Oh, really strong issue.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Korriban Hideout had a question. Should I read this run of JSA or find a compendium if I'm not familiar with them? I say if you want to read monthly comics, this is issue 2. Jump right in. Real easy. I think we're all relatively new to JSA as a book here. Cale would have been the one who has a little more familiarity with it. But there are some really good JSA compendiums you can pick up as well. So yes to either of those.
Yeah, I would say do both, honestly. Jump into this because it's going to give you a different grounding for those characters. And then if you want to, because Kale has put me on, and I highly recommend the JSA stuff from Jeff Johns.
Sure. Yeah.
Phenomenal work. Art's great. The heartfelt storytelling is great. Similar to this in that you get drama, you get action, you get character moments. I think that Lemire's only going to go up from here. Pick of the week.
Yeah. Cool. Like you're saying, Lemire can only go up from here. Lemire, one of the most, I guess, well-regarded writers who's been pretty consistent. Maybe not in the big
Yeah,
two, but for the past since I've read comics, really.
always, man. His indie stuff, I pick up all of his in him and Matt Kent. I put on the same level.
Cole says, I really like the drama and division in the team with the approach of the younger generation versus the OG members. Yeah, I'm loving the way all that stuff is breaking down. Like he just found such a smart approach to telling this story. It's just sick. Um, so before we get into the stack, which we're gonna do here in just a minute, I did want to talk about Marvel Rivals for a quick minute. Do we have people in the chat? Damn, I forgot to get a poll up for JSA. What are you gonna do? Do we have people in the chat who want to play? Like people who are in the chat on or are willing to join our Discord that want to hang out and play Marvel Rivals? Because I'm literally gonna jump on right after this, as long as it's downloaded.
I was even positing, and I just didn't announce it yet because I can't do it this Monday because I had plans. But like maybe making like a Monday thing on the Discord, like Monday nights. Let's just hang out and play. Most of my Mondays are free. Not this coming one, of course. Timing is wrong, but I thought that would be like not a scheduled thing. It's not raid night, you know. But it's you get 6 people who want to just hang out. There's got to be at least 6 people in Discord that'll want to do it.
I'm down to hang. And yeah, if we could find like a schedule for it, I'll show up. I could, word Justin. If I wasn't stuck at work, if I didn't have work to do,
Are you stuck at work? Is that what you're saying, Marco?
no, I have deliverables that I'm still responsible for.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to get on and play. I don't even know who's in the game. I'm looking at this image that Tyler has right now, and it looks like fucking Aquaman is in the game somehow. I don't know how they swung that
Oh,
deal.
that made me nerd rage, you son of a bitch.
It looks like Aquaman. What do
That's
you want me to tell you?
Namor.
That made it made you nerd rage that he looks like fucking Aquaman when he literally looks exactly like Aquaman.
That is Namor.
Aquatic ombre.
All right. Anyway,
I can tell you one thing, Sean, and this may be a spoiler, but it's been Dana mined that Jean Grey is coming to the game.
nice.
Along with
Hell
Emma.
yeah.
Nice.
Emma and Jean Grey are possibly coming to the game. There's kits for them already in there.
I cannot wait for that. That is going to be cool as hell.
Yo, wait for the Beak DLC, dude.
Nothing for my boy Slim though. No Cyclops mentions just yet.
What? In a shooter?
Right?
That's so crazy.
It's insane. There's Jeff the Landshark's in it.
No way.
Yeah, he's fun as hell too, Marco. He's a healer.
Yeah?
Cloak and Dagger just got announced. Which I saw the funniest tweet about the idea of Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger's like, somebody said that like Dagger is, I mean, it's just a weird relationship, and how it's like a little racially weird.
All right, Tyler.
It's and then never mind. There's a good quote that I can post.
Let's not do that. Korriban says it's going to be my new top game. I'm an Apex Legends dork. I've never played that. I haven't played a shooter in a long time. I used to be a Call of Duty boy.
Yeah, dude.
Apex is such a different
Call of
skill
Duty.
set, though.
Black Ops, that's when I joined.
Zombies?
Zombies, the online. I had Modern Warfare 2.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys want to play, I'm gonna throw a link here into the chat. There it is. So if you guys decide you want to join us, join the Discord server, come hang out. We'll be running games. I don't even know how many. Is it a 6v6er? Because
It is, yeah.
all right, so we can figure all that kind of stuff out. But you don't have to. It's free to join. We're not making it Patreon exclusive or anything like that. Just anybody that's on our Discord, you can hang out with us if you feel like you want to do that. Let's get the stack going. Let's see some of those numbers. I've seen some coming in already. Let's get them in. I said I didn't get Batman this week, which is brutal. Like I don't think I've ever just not gotten Batman. But it was because, yet again, these people just crowd the fucking area. Like I just can't get to my books, and it's such a frustrating experience. So I think I gotta do something about this, because missing Batman is just like how can you miss Batman?
Was Batman the straw that broke the camel's back?
It might be, dude.
Are we getting a pull list?
I don't know.
Don't
but
they give
I'm
you a
sick
discount
of
if you get a
missing.
pull
I'm
list?
sick of missing comics, books that I pull every week. Like, how could I miss that? It's not good. It's not a good look.
And you missed it because they were crowding you, and you just didn't see it. You didn't get to it, or they were out. They probably weren't out.
Nah, they weren't out. It was just a situation where like I grab and go. So I'm grabbing and going, and if I can't get to a certain section and I don't notice the comic that I need because I'm trying to move quickly, I got to record a video for it. I was gonna do it this
I need a
week.
POV.
I was gonna do it, but then I was like, it's pretty empty. But in the midst of me getting my books, it like filled out, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Marco, we got comics bucks for a head-mounted GoPro.
Yeah, probably. Just slap it on.
Can you get one of those like face-fronting 360 cameras?
Yeah. Dude, when I went to pick up books this week, the cash register guy and I got into a conversation for like, I want to say at least 15 minutes, where I went up to the register. I'm a friendly, bubbly boy, and they're playing a little bit of they're playing like some hardcore. And I'm like, oh hey, like this cool vibe, who's the artist on this? He's like, yo, this is my jam, bro. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm having a good time. I like it. Like, what is this? He's like, yo, this is Blue Bent. I'm like, okay, cool. Never heard him. Put me on. Like, they got an album or something. He's like, he's he's ringing me up. He's scanning the whatever. He's beep beep doing the thing. He's like, yeah, dude, they're like a relatively new band. I went to go see their show. Their album came out, real good stuff. This will be 3729. Oh, cool, yeah, okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, and they have like great vibe. Oh, dude, do you listen to this stuff? I'm like, no, I'm more of a jazz, blues guy. He's like, would you like a bag with that? I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, bags of boards. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, he's like, cool. Starts putting it away. He's like, oh, dude, I was a metalhead, but like I've started, that was like a different period of my life, and now I'm kind of transitioning into this. And he just starts rambling about like hardcore and like heavier punk rock stuff, and how he like moved from the metal to this kind of thing. And then at some point we like step over to the side and just continue to have a conversation. And there are people lining up, bro. There are people on the line, paying customers, who are just kind of like, and I see them and I feel like a little bad. I'm trying to. He had the bag, like he still had it, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, great. He's like, oh, I'll definitely check out Bent Life. He's like, wait. Let me give you my playlist. So he pulls out his playlist. Here's my profile. It's a whole playlist just called Hardcore, and 101 hours long of pure hardcore music. I'm like, holy shit. One, thank you for this find. Two, can I have my books, please? And again, conversation. The line is getting longer. It's starting to bend around a little bit. I'm like, I feel like an asshole now. Another guy has to come to like start clearing out folk. And then he's like, finally we finish our conversation. He's like, yeah, man, if you come back, let me know. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, all right, see ya. My books are not in my hand yet. I'm like, wait. I'm like, oh, hey, hold on, my books, please. Can I get it behind the register? He's like, oh, dude, I forgot I worked here for a second. Here you go. And then I walked away.
Yo, put the comics in the bag, bro.
Please put the comics in the bag, bro. I'm trying to like, thanks for the conversation, but that's it. No, CW Gordon, I will not find another shop. That is the closest walk that I have from work, and I've made it a practice on Wednesdays when I can.
Did you want to say what it is? You want to shout them out, or
the individual? Yo, if you go Kelso, he's the man.
Shop.
Yeah, Forbidden Planet.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah. Everyone goes. That's a good shop.
Yeah, good shop, good stuff, good guy, real good guy. Talk your ear off about metal and hardcore.
They got plenty of workers there. That's fine. Someone else could ring them up. That's fine.
Someone else had to ring them up because my
like
dude and me, we were chatting.
Wow. See, guys, this is what I talk about when I say, like, we just want to get in and get out. Like, we don't need, and it's all good. It's all love. But, like, bro, I don't care about your music taste. I don't care about your, like, at least talk to me about some comic books. Like, the girl rang me up this week. She's like, oh, Snot Girl. That's because I spoilers, I bought Snot Girl this week.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, wow. Yeah, like that's a great book. And I'm like, yes, it's fantastic. I really love it. And she's ringing me up, and that's the kind of interaction that I want. You say something, I say something, we speak no more. That's it.
It's like the greeting, like, hey, how's it going? You're not asking, you're just saying hello.
Well, I genuinely do care. If she wanted to talk to me about, because I did say how are you, and she said how are you, but if she said, hey, I'm not having a great day, what, and just gave me a story, I would listen to that. I'm on the hook for anybody's problems, but I don't want to hear about the minutia of your musical tastes.
Yo, I'd be there like, oh, that's crazy. How much was that again?
I love information. So, like, I like to hear about people's lives, but not your music taste when I'm trying to get out of this place with my comic books.
Are you wearing headphones, Sean?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. All right, I was gonna say that's a trick. Over the ears.
I was too.
Over the ear.
I had in the ear, dude. My
in ear.
people
disregard the in ear. You got to get the over the ear.
No way.
People are more they keep the social contract a little better when you have the over-the-ear headphones. In ears, they can still hear you. People don't see it.
Dude, I've been wearing earphones like the majority of the day for most of my life. And I'm going to tell you right now that people do not give a fuck. People will talk to you with your headphones on. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody would pull my headphone off to talk to me. People are desperate to talk and they need you to listen.
Yo, Banksy Main
I'm
says, I'm having a bad day, but if you listen to my playlist, I'd feel a lot better. Yeah, dude.
like, you guys are saying this. I'm like, oh, that sounds great.
I was having a good time, but
But now you're late for the show.
I was just concerned for the line of people and like other individuals, and we're still at a retail spot, right? I'm not trying to be the guy that's just like hogging up the cash register.
You could just be like, hey, you want to just get this line first, and we'll finish.
I guess I could have done that. Yeah, that's such a good point.
You would just leave at that point. I would.
Yo,
I
put
would
the
hope.
fries in the bag.
That's brutal. That's brutal. Kyle says Sean is not a people person. I actually think I am, believe it or not. I just, I don't feel as enthused about social engagement when I am outside. I don't really want to talk as much when I'm outside. When I'm outside, I'm very focused. I have an agenda. I want to achieve it and nothing more. It's just how I am.
Feel it. Get it. Depends what it is. I'm good for like a good 3-minute, 5-minute chat. Get the thing you really want to say across, and then we're good. Like if we had ended at, oh yeah, this is this band, and this is some good music. Oh, check out this album. Gravy. My dude had to tell me about his fucking musical journey.
5 minutes a long time to talk to someone you don't know.
15 minutes is longer.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Man, I never thought I'd be the extrovert in a group.
The what?
I never thought I'd be the extrovert of a group.
You didn't, Tyler?
I used to think of myself as an introvert.
Nah,
you were lying to yourself.
I was
bubbly.
I was gaslighting myself, and I just needed to leave the situation I was in to refine myself.
Ooh, damn deep.
Near says, I asked someone at my LCS for help while they were back turned, and they turned around so fast they almost fell in front of me. I want to see that.
Follows up with, I'm a head nodder and a yeah guy. Yeah.
Dude, I get by on that a lot when I'm in when I'm outside, if I have to be social for some reason. It's not like I can do it. I just feel like it's very draining very fast. I don't really like to talk if I'm not talking about things that matter. I'd rather not open my mouth if I'm not talking to a person about something that matters. CW Gordon hit it. Yeah, Sean doesn't want small talk. It's the deepest, darkest secrets of your soul or nothing. That is exactly how I am.
Yo, the office is all talking about, oh, you saw the snow? Yeah, it was snowing today, huh? Yeah. Little flurries. Wow. Yeah.
I hate that shit. Do not try to talk to me about the weather. That has go away heat with me. Like, I don't want to hear about it.
It's been cold recently. Yeah, well, it's getting to that time.
I don't look up the weather, dude. I go by vibes. When I wake up in the morning, if my feet are cold, I go by my feet. If my feet are cold, that means it's probably really cold outside and I should wear a hoodie. But for me to go past wearing a hoodie, something outside of New York has to be really wrong. Really, really wrong. Like Mr. Freeze has to be attacking, because otherwise I'm not putting anything more than a hoodie.
That's the most New York shit ever.
Yes. Listen,
like
here's some things to
understand.
Buddy. I'm not just black, all right? I am also Irish. So that means that there's a part of me that's white. And when I see these people outside, I saw a guy outside yesterday, white as the driven snow. My man has sandals on. Do you understand how crazy you have to be outside in New York City in 30-degree weather with some sandals and shorts on? My man was bugging out. But that's what he does.
That's why
I have that in me. Right. So there's a part of me that is accepting of the cold. I'm not as cold as everybody else. But when it's cold, it's cold.
Brick.
Yes. I didn't wear a jacket one time last year.
No way.
Not once.
Unseasonable. Yeah, it was unseasonably kind of like weird.
Yeah, global warming's working on your side of this
Yes.
message. Oh wow, hear that first. Comics Pals pro global warming according to Sean.
No, I actually despise global warming, but that's
Yeah,
another
all those
matter.
microplastics is floating in your bits. That's
Yo, they're in
fine too, I guess.
already in my body, man. What does it matter?
Yeah, I definitely got mad microplastics in me. 1000%. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
There's this meme reel thing I saw about like when microplastics enter your body, and ultimately the guy's like, dude, what destruction can I even do here? Look at the way this guy treats his own body, dude. What a large gordita, what a crunchy gordita wrap? No
You're
way,
attacking me
dude.
right
He's
now.
fucking himself up.
You're attacking me. Thank you.
I know.
I literally almost got that before the show.
Comics are dope, says just tapping in, packing up my collection for our move next week. I regret having stacks the size of Sean's now. Well, first of all, BJ, congratulations on the move, getting a house. That's a big boy move. I love that for you, brother. Good luck. And I'm sorry that you have to experience that without getting too personal. I know what you're talking about, and that shit is a fucking blow. So sorry for cursing. Now you got to put your headphones on. My bad, BJ. But
fuck,
no, I wish you
Sean?
luck. What's that, Ty?
What the fuck? Oh,
Damn it.
Robert Kashabak says, "Oh my God, I've been shoveling snow at work for days in minus 25 degrees in Alberta. Brother, that's brutal.
Yo, in Canada, that's probably Celsius.
Would you want to live a life? Robert, would you want to live a life where when it's cold where you are, you're not in Canada, like you leave, like you go to Florida or or Spain or somewhere like that? Or do you like being in Canada all year round, despite the fact that it gets, crazy cold?
bro. I mean, I technically work out of Buffalo, and people are just like, that's just the way of life there. Snow,
Wow.
that's normal.
It just is, man. You go visit wherever Chris is. There's a nice day in SoCal, 74. You could be there, Robert. You could be there, chilling,
California
Chris, don't
weather's
even
pretty
talk.
good.
sunglasses on.
I mean, you get a little bit of a tsunami warning sometimes in California, but
Yo.
you know that.
That's right, yeah. 6.6 earthquake today.
Oh boy, it was just a little freaky for a bit.
Emily says, I've liked pretty much every LCS I've been to, although there's one with a great back issue selection that has a negative reputation for the employees being smarmy jerks. That's not a good thing. That
Unfortunate.
sucks. I mean, and granted, I'd rather a small talker than a jerk. I'd rather a small talker than a jerk. But at the same time, right? Like, you're not going to be a jerk to me because I'm not going to say shit to you. So unless you're being a jerk while you're ringing up my order, which would be a bad idea, we'll have no quarrel with one another. But I digress. We've got to do the stack. Holy shit.
Who's keeping track of those numbers?
Yeah, I know a lot of numbers already came in. So get your
yeah.
numbers in if you haven't. And I assume Tyler's going to scroll up and he'll get to those.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I pulled it. We're starting with out the gate near 15 for the stack. Starting it off hot. Rami 16. Dan, breaking formula here. 17 says have a good night. Robert Kasherback, he said, I think he said he had you pegged, Sean. 11 for this week. Juan Ramirez 13 for the stack. James Jones, perennial winner, 14. Chris, if there's no, that says 30 heroes, not 30 for the stack itself. Steve Canaris, 12. Banksy Main, 13. Izzy's issues with Lucky, 14 for the stack. Chris, 15. Kyle, 15. Corbin Hideout, 20. Venom Mark, 20, including variant covers. Interesting. Okay, good play. Justin with 9. Think you're already out the gate, homie. CW Gordon 15, Phil McCracken
Marco, you got to read these faster, brother. Like, come on,
Yo,
Marco,
bro.
read that
I
one
just
again.
got got, dude. I just got got.
Give it a shot.
23. An absolute overthinker with 13.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got the 5 that we did for the
Son
show
of a
because I
bitch.
missed one. Um, damn, Marco. So we've got Red Sonja number 16. I made a decision on this. I'm dropping this. Not because of the quality,
Wait, what
but
is that?
because Red Sonja number 16. But because I realized that it's $4.99. And that is not okay with me. That's not okay. So Dynamite, you lost me. You got to lower the price. $4.99 for Red Sonja is not it. I'm out on that. Detective Comics number 1090. Haven't read it, but I will. We've got Batgirl number 2. Grommets number 6 of 7. This has been great. Grommets is awesome.
Yeah, it's real good.
You got to be a particular kind of person. But Hornsby and Halo number 1.
Nice.
Of course, last week Image Comics were not available at my LCS due to the Diamond stuff, so had to grab that. Speaking of which, I also got Hyde Street number 2. Very excited to dig into this because I didn't read it at all last week. The aforementioned Snot Girl number 16. Hell yeah. I can't wait. And this cover, this cover is making me think some things. I wonder what's going to happen in this comic book. Tin Can Society number 3. We've got Void Rivals number 14. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 27. X-Force number 6. And that's it. That's my stack.
11 plus this 5. 16.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Anybody get that?
Somebody did. Yeah. Where? Let's go back up here. Let's go back up.
Yeah, I'm scrolling back up real quick.
12.
Nope, that was not.
No one got 10.
Rami
16?
Darwish with the 16.
Nice.
There it is.
Rami's won a few times. Rami, if you want any of the Marvel codes from today, please feel free. That includes the books we did for the show. So Ultimates is in that mix, and so is All New Venom. Thanks for playing. If anybody wants any of the codes, just reach out, and I will. I'll hook you up. But Rami's first. Rami's got first dibs on this deal. Is there the Detective Comics old? Did I
I was
up?
I'm looking up that right now, but
Yeah.
it says January here. Cover
No,
date
I
January
think-
2025 for.
It's hard to go by that.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Release November 27th.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, did
What
you
the
buy...
fuck? Why was it? It was right there with all the new books from this week.
Can I see the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would have been like the first all-in one because of the way the cover is.
I'm opening this shit up. This is part 1.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep.
What?
I got 2 words for you. Pull list.
Fuck me, guys.
Yeah, bro, you picked up a book from October 23rd.
How? Is this a second printing?
Imagine, yo, check the cover, check the inside cover.
It doesn't say second printing on the book.
CW Gordon
think that's
says
the first
should have been
printing.
15. I've been cheated.
Hold on, hold the phone. Is this a second printing? Because now I'm tight.
No, I'm
DC
pretty sure
Comics.
that's first printing.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's first printing based on the cover. The cover's, with the logo and the character on the front. That's the A cover of the all-in relaunch.
I've been duped. My fucking LCS duped me. This shit was with the new comic books. Why? Why was it with the new comic books? I thought this was a new comic.
Yeah, I mean, even 1091 would have been wrong, so.
Oh,
I've been duped, bamboozled, and as SpongeBob might say, you've been speckledorfed.
son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I just can't believe it.
CW Gordon says purple logo. Second printing came out today. That might be the
Oh, that's
distinguishing
the second
factor.
printing. Yeah,
It's
came
the
out this-
second.
yeah,
Okay,
it
so
is.
it's the second printing.
Okay.
That's why. See, this is why comic books are in trouble, because you got people who are genuinely trying to buy and engage with your industry, and they're doing shit like this. Don't put the reprint with the new comics. How am I supposed to remember what I bought a month ago? That's on them. Now I spent $4.99 on a book that I don't even want. So what am I going to do with this copy?
There's a solution, dog.
I would have bought it anyway.
I'm not going to put my 2 cents on this anymore. People know where I stand on this.
I mean, Sean already
I
put
like
his
to watch
$4.99 into it.
Wow. This blows. Man, what a bummer. Yeah, Coraban. Coraban says that's rough, and it is. Style So Serious says take it back. I might do that. They do allow it. So I might have to do that. And it's $4.99 on top of that. CW Gordon says mail it to me for like another $10. Yeah, you got it right away, Chief.
What if we just slowed it down in the shop, like half a step?
That wouldn't have helped with this particular book because I would have gotten it. I thought it was new.
What about writing down a list for yourself with the numbers?
I used to do that, yeah, but I like going in and being like, "Wow, hey, that's
Doesn't seem like you like it,
really
Sean.
Cool." What's that?
Doesn't seem like you like it.
Near says, "Give it to the people." How? Does anybody live in New York? You want to meet up, and I'll hand you a copy of Detective Comics 1090.
You don't got like a little table in the lobby or something. Leave it out in the desk. Stay free comics. That's what I do when I finish some of these.
Meet Sean under the RFK Bridge around 12:20 p.m. on Sunday. You have to bring McDonald's chicken select somehow though. Figure it out. They are in select markets at this point. So
Yo, rest in peace, man. That
even
shit was
trade.
bomb. I love the barbecue ones.
The snack wrap's coming back. I'm just saying.
Stop. That
Yeah,
shit
they
was
just announced
good.
that next year. Snack wrap's back.
Oh, I didn't know that, Chris. League of Comic Geeks has an app. Good to know.
Yeah, they
Good
do.
to know.
Yeah, I think they are on the cusp of being the letterboxed for comics, which is what I really want. I wish they would fix the UI.
Yeah.
CW Gordon says just use it for napkins for the next pepper steak. You know what, dude? You're on my ass right now, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, why you got to bring up old shit? That's what I don't understand. Why are you bringing up old stuff now? No need. Coraban says give it to the local doctor's office. You know what they would do with it? They would tear that shit up. They would use it for paper for something else.
Be next to that book that has the I Spy in it. You know, the one where you have the kids book that was always at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Where it'd have the find these hidden images within it.
Where's Waldo type?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys are funny. Coraban Hideout says write it off as a donation or something financial like that. Yeah, I could always do that. That's true.
You could write off all your books. I'm just saying that is a doable
Business
thing.
expense. Yeah.
Banksy Main says autograph it and we'll bid on it. Listen, please. Nobody's looking for my autograph, bro. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna have to do something different because I didn't get Batman and I bought Detective for no reason. I could have saved money or at least got the right freaking comic. What's happening here? Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to make myself feel better by going and playing some Marvel Rivals. Now, if you guys want to join and hang out and go do that, you can hit the Discord up because we're all going to be there hanging out. There is a video game channel. We'll be talking there and kind of, figuring out what we're going to do there. Tune in to the show Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We're going to hang out, close out the year. We've got only a few shows left to go before the year is out. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Unfortunately, no Al Ewing this Saturday. We are going to be live with him on the 14th. So this Saturday, it'll just be us guys. It'll just be us guys.
Just,
Go ahead.
just like just a guy, like just guys, just us guys.
Just guys being dudes.
Just
Yeah.
dudes being chill guys.
Show guys.
Yeah.
Just show guys, man.
Few guys talking a few things, having a good time.
Gonna add the chill guy meme to the thumbnail now.
Yeah. Just guys being pals. Yo, imagine. Yeah. Al Ewing joins the Commies Pals. Just being guys.
Hell yeah. Thanks to everybody who joined the Discord today, by the way. It's great to have you. I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun over there. We are always having a great time. So make sure you say hello, and we will say hello to you. Like the video on your way out. Come hang out with us on Saturday. See you then. Until then, take care, guys.